Hey guys, what's up everyone? You're probably wondering if I'm dead or not, but probably not because I'm not that important. Did want to update y'all for those who do care. I've been very busy with school. There have been some videos I've been wanting to make, but I just haven't gotten around to it, either because of school or video games. Video games are fun. Play video games. Um, so I will be working on videos now that the last semester just ended. I will be graduating tomorrow, getting my associate's degree. Doesn't really mean anything these days, but I'll be going back to school next semester. For the few short weeks I'm here, I'll be starting a new series about traffic tips, about driving. Um, and this is kind of a disclaimer on that series. I'll be posting them hopefully later this week or next week. I don't have too much driving experience. I'm in my early 20s, so I'm not an expert driver by any means. I don't have any qualifications other than my driver's license. But I do feel like I know the basics of driving, and I can observe other drivers and how atrocious their driving is. And I still haven't gotten into an accident, and I still haven't been pulled over yet. So I feel like I'm fairly qualified in giving at least some decent driving advice that anyone would give. You'd read it anywhere, but for one reason or another, people don't do it. So just like to start a little, series of PSAs that are slightly humorous, and maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll keep driving awfully. It's your choice. But don't kill people on the road because that's bad. I talk about video games. I've been playing a lot of video games. That's why I have a beard. I guess I better review one. I don't have a copy with me because digital downloading is the way of the future. As long as your hard drive is big enough, you can download anything. And the most recent game I've been playing is 2015's Need for Speed. I'll see if I can put like a cover art or a link to one or something up here. And it's the latest entry in the Need for Speed series, a return to the roots, Underground 2, Carbon, Most Wanted. Got sort of mixed reviews. There are some really great things and some really bad things. I'm going to start with the great things. It does feel like a return to form for Need for Speed. EA wasn't too involved. It looks like Ghost really tried to make their best game. It's fun. The racing is it's very arcadey. So if you like racing sims, you'll like it, but you probably won't like it as much. The one thing you can do is you can adjust you can tune pretty much anything. So if you're more suited to a grip racing style, you can do that, or you can tune your car more for a drift setup. I personally prefer a drift setup because I'm lazy and like just scooting around corners. I'm not very good at racing with grip. So you can make it as difficult or challenging as you want. If you adjust your car to either perspective all the way, it'll make it a little bit more like a racing sim. That being said, the controls still feel very simple and very arcadey. So it's more suited for fans of the original games, which were arcadey in themselves. The story, which a lot of people criticize, it's Need for Speed, guys. It's not Stanley Kubrick. That you're not going to find an amazing story with deep characters and interesting twists. No, it's Need for Speed, so they're going to have a bunch of idiots racing around. One cool thing they did is they introduced a bunch of real life drivers like Ken Block and Magnus Walker who interact with the story. Not to give too many spoilers, not like you really care because it's Need for Speed. But it's interesting because they introduce their own aspect of driving into the story that you can work with, and there's 5 different storylines based on these characters. And so overall fun gameplay, tons of customization. They brought that back. I know everybody's been complaining about the last few Need for Speed games pretty much being a carbon copy of one another, and they offer very little customization. So now you get to, you can do whatever you want to your car. If you want to make it look like one of those little like super low like cantered wheels, you can do that, or not. You probably shouldn't do that if you take yourself seriously. But it's a fun game. I still enjoy it so much that the cons, which I'm going to get into here in a minute, aren't enough to take away from the enjoyment of the game. Now, the cons. It's online only. It's a form of EA's recent DRMs that kind of drive people nuts. Which I don't know why. Well, until recently, I didn't know why every game dev decided to make every racing game online only. The Grid is one of the only ones where you can just play through the story and you don't have to necessarily be connected to the internet. And there's a separate multiplayer setup, which is what I wanted to see for Need for Speed. And hopefully in future titles they'll wake up a little bit and realize that fans don't want something like The Crew, where you're always connected to the internet. There's always other players. The thing that brings Need for Speed down, though, is that at least in The Crew, you're racing your own missions separately, even if you are online. In Need for Speed, it puts all the racers into one world, and you're all racing simultaneously. So if your race just happens to intersect with somebody else's race, and you hit them, sucks. You can't pause the game. You can restart, but there goes whatever progress you made. Yeah, it's not pleasant. You get people, of course, that aren't even in a race. They're just cruising around, and they just hit you, and there goes the final mission. Not very smart. You can play alone, but you have to load the entire game, go to the play alone option, and which will reload the entire game. So your best bet is to just not worry about it and just play online. And also, matchmaking with your friends is atrocious, because when you start, it'll put you into a crew of people you don't know. You can't leave the crew. You can make it private only or invite only. It doesn't mean anything. You'll still be put in a crew. The only way to actually play with your friends is if you're both on the startup screen, you invite somebody, and they join your crew before you play the game. Once you're already in the game, too bad. You got to reload the whole game if you want to play with someone else. So after hours of frustration, me and my friends finally figured this out. But like I said, this isn't enough to take away from the actual fun of the racing. The story's interesting enough, and it's fun. You know, everybody's drinking Monster and street racing. It's my kind of world. So it's definitely worth a download. I think right now it's way less than what it debuted at. I got it for Cyber Monday for $12 or $13. And that's everything. That's the deluxe edition that comes with, you know, whatever other bonus features. I'm not quite sure which features didn't come with the original game. And they have been tuning it over time, over the months here, since it was released. There's manual transmission now. That was a big complaint initially. The rubber banding AI isn't as bad. I haven't noticed it, at least. It was a huge issue when it was released. And you know, there's different customization options. There's a few new things they tweaked in there that made the game better. So it's definitely worth a play. I wouldn't put it ahead of any of the other greater titles this year, like Titanfall 2 or Gears 4, per se. But it is a great game. If you like racing games, play it. And I guess that's all the time I'm going to give for now. So yeah, be on the lookout for future videos. I'll make those driving tips, and have a good life.